responding to all that and applying technology in all this. Now, as you rightfully said as well, agriculture ni uti wa mgongo. We actually live here because of agriculture. We consume food which comes from farmers, which begs the question, should agriculture be made compulsory in school?
Actually, yes, because if you can see the syllabus of CBC, they have a part of agriculture. Top of that, in school there is a small portions where the student do those homework. When I met them, when I engage them, we have to start where their work are doing. For example, in Embakasi, there is a small portion of those kids where they do practice. There is a innovation garden, there is a vertical gardens. So those are kind of things of innovation. Those kind of things I tell those students to do. Na pia mimi mwenyewe I normally implement some new technologies for those students. Top of that, when we start this innovation, we have to look at new things. We have to look at new technologies. For example, the how do we call it? The corn gardens. It is not easy to get it, but when you go to the small kids, they will implement it. Yeah.
And Ibrahim.
Yeah.
Now, in all that you have said in terms of the technology that you apply and all that, there is always the aspect of the fact that when it comes to smart agricultural technology, we are still playing catch up, which forms the basis now, like it's a challenge for young people to get into this. So in terms of challenges that do exist in the youth being part and at the center stage of matters to do with agriculture, what are some of the challenges that you have experienced, and what are some of the easiest way or some of the remedies that the government or other stakeholders can put in place?
Okay, so the challenges have basically been ignorance. We are too oblivious. Number two, the doubt. So many people doubt whether what we practice, the naturopathy. Yes, of course, they are quacks, but some of us are genuine. We consult, we do our research, we've had background, like I had said earlier. So whatever we do with confidence. And of course, where there are like contraindications, we usually ask, I wouldn't say patients, because we do not offer like medicine or administer medicine. What we do is incorporating the herbs into meals so that it forms what we'd call Thai food being Thai medicine. So basically the challenges have been the ignorance and the doubts surrounding the particular field. The other issue could be many people say they do not have pieces of land to plant. So ours being primarily propagation, that of course limits your capacity to sell seedlings. So some of the methods we've been able to apply and work with is proposing planting in containers, even in a rented apartment, use of pots, use of corn gardens, like Mr. Paul has said. That with a small piece of land, you'll be able to maximize its use. So those are some of the remedies we've been campaigning for, to ensure that this person who really wants to plant these particular items you are selling to them will be able to do that and enjoy the benefits fully. Yeah.
Now, Paul, when we talk about on the same subject, there are challenges even when you're dealing with the small kids. Today, you want to take them through, say, drip irrigation. Do you have that facility? But today, you want to get specimen A to plant today. You don't have access to that. Are those the challenges that you face on a daily basis? And how then should, now that you know that agriculture has been devolved, but how can both levels of government, including the Ministry of Education, come through for you so that you are able to do your job easily?
The challenges are there. For example, if you said, if I want to teach them about drip irrigation, because at the end of the day, drip irrigation, it is the easiest way of watering these vegetables. What I can say in government or in many institutes, if they can help, if they can manufacture more facilities like drip irrigation, there is something we call teardrop irrigation, those kind of irrigation. Once we start using them, it will be very easier, because to buy a drip line, it is very expensive, because 1,000 meters is equals to 8,500. If you tell school to go and buy that a roller of drip, watakuambia hawana pesa. But in government, if they can support those farm equipment, it will be very easier. Me and my kids and the team to access the agriculture as well. Yeah.
Now, Ibrahim, agriculture is something that is very important, especially in the current world that we live in. Food security is no longer a guarantee. And with the generation that has been involved in matters to do with agriculture has been, so far, it's the elderly pretty much. So with the youth and all the energies that they do have, how do we bring them up so that they become part of solving the food insecurity problem that we have in this country? How do we convince the youth to be part of the change with regard to food security?
Okay. Number one, I think it should first start with the parents, because earlier we used to see agriculture as torture, punishment. So now I think what the parents should start doing is encourage their young people to take up a small piece of land, probably put some few vegetables, and the sale that comes from meat should entirely go to them. Nothing should, nothing. Okay, the parent should provide the starting point, other the seeds, the seedlings and stuff.
The capital, pretty much.
The capital, yes. Then the returns should go to the youth. I think that should be a motivator enough for them to now be able to use these returns as capital for the next preparation and stuff. And through that, I guess, that will help the youth grow, liking what they see from what they get. Yes.
Smani, you have dealt with these kids from a very young age. You've seen them grow, become adults, and in terms of successes that you've seen in your line of work, how would you say that is going? Say, since you started, you've gone through, say, 100,000 kids. How many of those have gotten into agriculture? as a way of agribusiness, and how critical as well are these young Turks being brought up to be to think and focus on agriculture in terms of sorting out the problems that we have in terms of food insecurity. We know there is climate change as we speak right now. Food security is no longer a guarantee across the world. Kenya is not spared either. So how important is it for us to bring these kids in terms of agriculture, and what are the success factors that you've seen in your line of duty?
Come again?
You have dealt with kids for a very long time, right?
Yeah.
Now, what are some of the success factors that you've seen by you teaching children on matters to do with agriculture?
Absolutely, there is so many successful. For example, if you teach this small kid these varieties of cabbage, if you plant it, if you take care of it, the end of the day, once you sell, you will earn money. 2, if you tell your parents, go and buy a hybrid seed, if you plant it, the end of the day, you will get something, because the end of the day, cheap is very expensive. If you go near the road, na ununue zile mbegu mbaya, the end of the day, you will get loss. So, nikiwapasha na nikuambia zile mbegu mzuri ambazo zinanunuliwa, wakishanunua, wakizipanda, they will earn money. For example, if you plant 10 millions of head of cabbage, 3 months, if you sell 25 shillings per head, you will get 25 million in 3 months. That is successful. And you will have money, and you will be a king the end of the day. Yeah.
Yeah. 1 million heads of cabbages being sold at 25 shillings, that is 25 million shillings. But we know in Nairobi, a single head of cabbage goes for around 80 shillings to 100 bob. Now you know you're becoming 100 million strong. But
that is if you sell in wholesale.
In wholesale, yes.
Yes.
That's farm gate price.
Yes.
Yeah.
But now let's talk in terms of the youth and agriculture. We know it is important for them to get in here, right? We all agree that we need all this energy to be put into agriculture. But that notwithstanding, you are a young person who is in agriculture, and agriculture is your food, is your bread and butter. It is where you earn your income from. In terms of agriculture, just sorting out the unemployment problem in this country, what do you have to say about it?
Well, when I began, I was alone. I used to work late, till 1 o'clock. That is putting soil in the polybags to begin my seedling nurturing and propagation. Now, I have a team of 7 guys, and each and every one of them, okay, most of them has families to feed, and each and every one of them goes home every single day with at least something for bread and unga for the kids. That is to say that besides my initiative serving as a source of income for a few, it should also serve as a motivator for some few more. As things are currently going, with some more youths willing to join. If not joining, willing to learn. And I'm always free for consultation. I know how my journey began. It's been 3 years, 3 months, and a few days. I even have that in my... And the journey has been rough, of course. But now, I aspire to make it so much easier for those willing to follow the footsteps, so that it becomes so much easier for them, because most of them would give up on their way. Which,
Now, Ibrahim, you say you want to make it easier for the others, and that is a welcome move. But Ibrahim, I just want to ask you a simple question. I've realized you have a special commodity here that you've not wanted to put aside, that envelope. What is in that envelope?
This envelope contains one of my best-selling items.
Okay, just hold on.
Okay.
Let's take this short commercial break. When we come back, I want you to open that mystery good seller in that, so that you show us what's the secret in that. Sumani, as well, you will contribute on that secret thing in that envelope.
Sure.
But now let's take a short commercial break. We will be back with much more, including the mystery envelope.
Kazi pamoja na tukue pamoja, kuimarisha Kenya ni jukumu la Farm Kenya. Unalima ardhi, mlango wa kulima, kuwa mshindi, kuwa na uhakika sasa, kulea mustakabali wa baadaye. Tufanye kazi pamoja na tukue pamoja, kuimarisha Kenya ni jukumu la Farm Kenya.
Thank you for watching Farm Kenya and welcome back. Remember, we're having a conversation on the youth and agriculture, and on set with me is Paul Sumani, Smart Horticulture Frontier, and equally Ibrahim Mwangi Kamau, a youth in agriculture. And before we went on the break, there was a mysterious envelope on set. We want to know what is in that envelope. Sumani, Ibrahim, what is in that envelope?
this is chamomile, pure unadulterated chamomile. I think you can scoop some for the aroma and the scent.
It's equally strong, yeah?
Yes, it is. Chamomile is one of our best-selling items as a plant and as a product.
Yeah, pretty much. So chamomile, pretty much. This chamomile makes people sleep, if I'm not wrong.
Yes,
yeah?
yes, it is a
Sleep has a
sedative.
sleeping factor. So
Yes.
if the camera person can just zoom into it. Yeah. So this is actually grounded chamomile.
Yes,
And
pure unadulterated.
unadulterated.
Yes.
Esh. So this is, you said this is pure unadulterated. It is
Yes.
as fresh
Straight from
as
the
it
farm,
comes.
only going through drying process, nothing else. Yeah, safe for consumption.
And you see, when we talk about chamomile, some of us have just seen them being packaged in supermarkets. For some weird reason, I thought chamomile is actually not grown in this country.
In some of those, that's why I emphasized on pure and adulterated, is because some packages come as chamomile tea leaves. That's a blend of chamomile and, you know.
So how do we use chamomile? Is it a herb? Is it medicine? Just take us through it. And is it also a spice? And how do we use it?
Chamomile is a spice in juice blends and beverages. As an herb for its medicinal properties, besides the fact that it helps calm the nerves, making it a sedative, an excellent one for that matter. Besides that, there's so much in chamomile, and that's why it's touted as one of the best. You'll also find it in toothpaste. You must have seen Colgate Herbal, consisting of herbal ingredients, chamomile, eucalyptus, and sage. Sage also being one of the best in as far as health benefits are concerned, besides the fact that it's good in dental health. That's why it's used there. Sage also is helpful in hormonal balancing. There has been evidence actually of women in their 40 plus being able to alleviate symptoms of pre and post menopause. That is enough. There is enough evidence and testimonies I've had from several of my clients. It also happens to improve cognitive abilities. That's proven too, because users cannot be lying. Those are some of the testimonies we get from and feedbacks we get from some of our customers and clients. That's as far as chamomile, sage, and some other stuff are concerned.
Let me just talk to you, Sumani. Now, Sumani, as we see this as a product that is grown locally. It is something that is needed by, I'd say, the big companies that need these to produce. I mean, enough times in the house I use chamomile whenever I find it hard to sleep. But this is something that is here locally. So in terms of packaging this information to get to the young people to know that you don't need to, there is a lot more in agriculture that you can do. We have herbs, such kind of things that it does not make you be the dirty farmer as the young people want to look at it. How do we package these for the young person so that from the onset they look at what lies ahead?
About packaging, there is a package, how do we call we have the silver, this, how do we call it?
Now I'm asking packaging in terms of packaging the information around agriculture and this new way of agriculture to appeal to that young person so that they can tap into this.
I think I can help Mr. Paul answer that question. For the youth who do not want to get dirty, there is a trick, a very simple one. Youth are privy to the social media sites. So what you need to do, if you come to me as a youth and you do not want to get dirty, I can help you earn without necessarily having to get that dirty. You sell this item, I'm on the ground. You go to that social media platform, sell this item, I give it to you at a subsidized price. You are in between. I give you a good price, you sell the item, you are a farmer, you register yourself as a farmer, you present yourself as a farmer, a youthful farmer. No one will doubt your credentials because you'll have the knowledge. Arm yourself with the knowledge as a youth, arm yourself with the knowledge, post it online, let people know what you do and what you're capable of through what you teach them or what information you pass to them through the social media sites. Then you have the products we produce. We are on the ground. We produce, you are in between, you sell at whatever price is comfortable to you and your clients, then me, I'll give you at a subsidized price. So that way you earn without having to go to the ground and get your hands dirty. Yes.
Now, Mr. Paul, I really want to talk to you in terms of making sure that the children and that their parents allow them to get into agriculture. Because for a very long time, we have had the notion that, what do you want to be? I want to be a pilot. I want to be a doctor. I want to be an engineer. It's very rare that you find a child at a very young age say, I want to be a farmer. I want to be a farmer comes later after a lot of initiatives by different people until that sinks down a child that agriculture is also a viable option. Therefore, how do we then have this conversation with the parent so that we can all start telling children that agriculture is equally an area that you can get into because it's equally lucrative?
First of all, you have to show them the way. First of all, you have to show them the interest, the passion, the income of farming. Because if there is no income of farming, so there is no interest. So as far as we concern, the parents, they are the ones who can you repeat your question again?
How do we create interest from the parents to the children to get into agriculture?
The interest,
let me put it the easy way. Chamomile, biashara nzuri kwa wananchi. So tuseme nitafanya vipi kuhakikisha mzazi anaelewa kuwa ukulima ni bora, na ujumbe huo pia umepelekwa kwa mtoto kupitia kwa mzazi. Ni vipi tutahakikisha wote wanaelewa kuwa ukulima ni kitu bora?
Lazima waonyeshe kwamba ukulima, ukishalima utapata mapato. Pili, ukilima mzuri, mapato yale utapeleka sokoni. Itakufaidi wewe na jamii. Mzazi lazima aonyeshe mtoto mwelekezo, ambapo huu kulima si uchafu, huu kulima si punishment, huu kulima ni tegemeo la dunia mzima. Wakati mzazi ameonyesha mtoto hiyo njia, atakuwa na ile interest ya kuwa kwamba tukilima sisi wote pamoja tutaenda na njia moja. Yeah.
And I come to you, Ibrahim. Now, Ibrahim, you are in this business that seemingly it's doing great. So how do we pass this message to a young person out there who wants to get into this business? How do they start small?
We do that a lot when we go to the agricultural shows, which we happen to go countrywide. And we try to pass this information to parents, to youth, to everyone. You see, starting to tell someone to develop an interest in a certain field is quite tricky. Unless you've had challenges in life that you're willing to take up anything. So it's a challenge in a challenge. Getting people to acknowledge, or rather to accept this as a reliable source of livelihood, it gets trickier. Unless, of course, someone expresses interest in it. Besides, we also do social media marketing, but mainly that's usually for consumers. But if anyone is willing to start with, or rather to begin a venture in the herbs and spices farming and propagation, we can even strike a deal, subsidy. Instead of our kawaida prices, we highly subsidize. And of course, bulk purchase comes with a different price. As I said earlier, let's say for instance, our retail prices for items like mint and some other stuff is usually 100 shillings upwards. If you're doing bulk purchase, let's say 1,000, the prices goes to as little as 10 shillings. See the difference? That applies to planting 1,000 seedling is not for a start. That's for someone who's established or at least planning to go big. So for a starter, we'd say is someone who's committing some resources for, let's say, 20, 30 plants, which will also subsidize the price. It's pretty simple to continue the process once you have a few. chamomile is self-seeding. Yes. So if you come purchase five plants, your process for going commercial has already kick-started. If it's like, let's say sage or thyme or oregano, rosemary, all those you're going for cutting or splits. So for those people who do not have, the youths who are willing to start, they do not have the resources, much resources, they can commit something little. We'll guide them through the process on how to, when you begin with a few seedlings, how you can continue the process yourself. Yes.
Now, Sumani, as we have this discussion, clearly there is need for the government to come and have this conversation with you who deals with the children. There's need for extension officers to get to where you are. So in terms of the government tapping in and assisting, what would be your message to the government?
My message is this to government: to put more input to the agriculture, to make agriculture easier. The agricultural materials, planting materials, the seedlings, the seeds. If we get more planting materials easier, everything will be okay. Yeah. So as a government, if they can start helping this generation to planting materials and what have you, that one will be okay to the farmers. Yeah.
Now, Ibrahim, I'm pretty sure this specific product that we have here was not like this. You went in, you harvested it, and you added value in it by crushing it, by grinding it. Now, in terms of the products that you have and value addition, what would make you as a business person now, as an agripreneur, easier for you to be able to churn out your products in terms of government policies that are into place for startups like you, in terms of subsidies, fuel, electricity, so that you're able to increase your yields and equally be able to even employ more because you're working efficiently?
Well, my query wouldn't even be on the government. No. All I'd ask is for people who would help in marketing and sensitization, so that we have more consumers. That's my only worry. If there comes people who can help in sensitizing people on the importance of herbs and spices and the role they play in our day-to-day health, because you've seen there is the main field of treating the allopathic, the conventional medicine people, you know, those ones don't even need to go market anywhere. The pharmacists, customers just frequent their places, you see. But people dealing in herbs and spices, it's tricky, even convincing people to accept this as an alternative. It should serve as a complementary. People should accept that. And number two, it's a food, superfood actually. So my main issue would be to, if there can be, okay, like let's say a television channel like this platform that you guys have provided. This will go a long way in helping our products move, and it will also help in more people getting that knowledge. And it will also remove the skepticism in people about alternative medicine, because this is superfood. It's helpful, and we always advise people, if there happens to be contraindication, halt it immediately and consult an expert. Yes. Otherwise, it's safe food. It's food, medicine in your food. Yes.
And you see, Ibrahim, even as we talk about it, I know we have agencies like Buy Kenya, Build Kenya. Those would be perfect avenues for you to be able to take your wares and talk to them, see what they have to offer. And equally, like you've rightfully said, there is need for information to get out there for us to know about the superfoods that do exist and be able to promote our very own, because I'm pretty sure in the modern medicine that you talk about, we have things that are made from what we have
extracts
here.
from these same
from,
plants.
From these same plants. Therefore, there is the need for us all to come together in making sure that we have this conversation on agriculture. The youth are actually tapping into it. We see the likes of Ibrahim Mwangi coming up with products that we only think we can get them off the shelves, that we can only get them from expensive tea bags, but they have it here. It is potent. I almost sneezed because of how strong it is. And equally, Paul Sumani talking with the children, 4K clubs coming up, making sure that our children grow up as individuals who love agriculture, that agriculture is not just something that is left for the elderly, but it is agri-business, something that they can grow into. It is a money maker for them. Therefore, the need for everybody to come on board to be able to push the entire conversation on agriculture. My name is Dennis Aseto, and we continue with these conversation on matters to do with agriculture, the youth tapping into it. But in here we say we are not leaving anyone behind, because we do exist because of agriculture. Enjoy the rest of your viewing. Bye-bye for now.